Any good story started with greatest friend, Vogue, Harper Bazaar, having job with Angelina Jolie. You know, you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, you just do everything by yourself. I just love this energy in between me and client for sure. My goal is to create something that will stay there forever. For example, now TikTokers and bloggers are invited to the fashion shows. Digital fashion is an additional way for them to make money. I don't even know how to talk about sustainability with what's happening in the world. Girls that are buying crop tops and tell them to stop doing it. One girl, one crop top, no more. No more. And then why I think of other people telling me it's too much. I had no makeup and I was like, wow, I'm so free. Yeah, Milan, New York, London, she has sweaters, she has lots of jewelry, she has really bad taste, but that's amazing. You know, you don't have to be perfect, you have to be yourself.
Hi, this is She Did It Show and I'm your host, Maye Musk. I'm so happy to present to you today our guest, fashion stylist, creative director, trendsetter, fashionista, Stefania Chekalina. Chekalina's work appeared in numerous acclaimed worldwide publications including Vogue, Elle, Tatler, Bazaar, and many more. She was working with such celebrities as Maye Musk, Katie Spencer, and with such brands as Matrix, Redken, Lime. I'm so happy to see her today in our studio, and by the way, she is the proud owner of Visa for Extraordinary Talents in the US. Stefania.
Hello, thank you.
Hi, so happy that we met.
Thank you for inviting. It's very exciting to hear my achievements out loud.
One more time,
in this studio.
Yeah, and I'm so happy. Yeah, one more thing, that you're my friend, and yes. I'm so happy that we will speak today not about
many years already. It's true. Yeah, and you went through a lot of my experience, even the ones that you mentioned. So
yeah,
you
but
know.
Still, we could speak more deeply about your career achievements and challenges and your career path, because it's so interesting. And sometimes we just didn't speak about that. So
it's true. Usually we discuss boyfriends. Let's talk some business.
Yeah, let's talk business. So, you been born in a southern Russian city of Krasnodar.
Yep.
How your story with New York City started?
As any good story, it started with one of my greatest friends that I met here in New York through Russian version of Facebook, FK, where I was posting my pictures of street style photography, and she reached out to me, and we became friends while I was in New York. I was visiting here. I was taking some courses in marketing and PR. I was still in university back then. And yeah, she was very connected here. She went to fashion school. She was one of the, I think she was back then in marketing, doing marketing for Vika Gazinskaya, which was a huge Russian brand, very popular. So that's how we connected, and a couple of years, I think 2 or 3 years after I met her, I moved to New York because she was just very selling idea of New York. And actually on 2 years after that, she invited me to New York to do some internship at a PR agency. Oh, wow. So I was taking care of invitation for New York Fashion Week for people from China and Japan. They were huge department stores that they were representing here in New York, and I was part of it, was dealing with New York Fashion Week. So that was my first times experimenting in fashion. But yeah, I think I moved here very accidentally, I would say. Very there was never a goal of mine to move to New York. I loved it here a lot, but I never was I never thought of it. But yeah, one day I graduated from law school in Russia, and I had 1 year of experience in a law company. I hated it. It was too many documents. I was like too stupid for this. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I hated it. Then I had like a little bit of experience as a fashion stylist in Krasnodar, but still it was in such a small. It was a little thing to do in there, and when I actually moved to New York, and I had to figure out how I'm gonna stay here legally, how I'm gonna work actually, and I went to my lawyer and I showed her my portfolio from Krasnodar, and she was like, "Wow, Stefania, amazing! You have 2 interviews about you. You seem like a very popular person in Krasnodar." But you have to come back with Vogue, Harper Bazaar, like big magazine names, and with big brands, clients that you work with. So we actually can give you an O1 visa. So that was a big journey for me.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Natalia, she actually introduced you to Vika Gazinskaya.
She introduced me to my first boss. Vika Gazinskaya, she was
different.
Yes. So the story about it was Natalia was working for this brand, and Vika Gazinskaya was like one of the biggest fashion icons back then, and she was part also of like Russian crew. There were huge street style stars like Miroslava Duma and Anna Zyurova, who became my first boss. So Natalia was very nice of her. She introduced me via email to Anna Zyurova, and she responded me like right away. She was like, "Yes, I'm seeking for help all the time," and that's how I started to help her as an intern. That's how I met her. I was working as an intern for 6 months. She back then had already like a first assistant, so when her assistant left, she offered me to try to assisting her, and that's how it started. And like next 2 years after that, I was working with her like nonstop, including I was included in all those amazing projects, and I learned everything from her. That was like, it was difficult, but it was amazing experience, because that's how it was like the best school for me,
So, and Anna Zyurova, she was the fashion director of Vogue Hong Kong.
And she is now. Back then she was on a freelance. She was very connected to Condé Nast International, and she did a lot of previously a lot of like big photo shoots with Angelina Jolie. She did a lot of like celebrity shoots. We did with her. I did Rihanna shoot for Vogue Arabia. One of my funniest.
Wow, you did with Rihanna.
Yes, I prepared. The funniest thing I had to do was, it was like a Cleopatra inspired shoot, so I had to find a Cleopatra hat, and I reached out like to 30 millineries in New York, and it was a funny thing, because like what you are doing. I was seeking for Cleopatra hat in New York, and not only New York, Actually, there was one millinery that created a hat in LA as well. So we had a lot of options. Everyone wanted to work with Rihanna. So yeah, I mean, and besides that, there were a lot of like commercial jobs, Victoria's Secret, Bobbi Brown, like all this the beauty brands, magazines. It was huge shoots, and amazing experience for me. It was my first time. I was learning. And she was like tolerating me not be like perfect and not knowing everything. Was very supportive, I would say, and understanding. Like if there was any mistake from my side, she's tough, but she teach me, and I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine so many shoots. And so, and after that, working for a couple years with Anna, you decided to switch for independent lifestyle and to be a freelancer and to do photo shoots by your own. How that transition happened? Why did you decide, and why?
After Anna, I was still doing some freelance, but I was freelancing other stylists because I needed to have some money, obviously, to pay for my lifestyle in New York, and that gave me more opportunity to discover more, different teams, new jobs, new opportunities. I was, for example, prepping job with Angelina Jolie. It was a huge production, and it was interesting to see how everything worked.
And you've been raised independently.
Yes, and during that I was, I was assisting to other stylists, and at the same time I was building more and more my portfolio. That helped me a lot. And whenever I could have my own clients to work with me. They were like smaller clients, but they were mine. This is, the main goal in my profession, in everyone's profession, to have your own like separate freelance life, having your own clients, magazines, and it was difficult. I can't say it was easy because assisting, it's almost like full-time job. It's it's stable. You make a lot of money. I mean, not a lot, but enough money. Yes. And at some point, when I was transitioning, at some point I would make like less money, and it was very scary. It was very stressful. You wouldn't like how I'm gonna make it. So at some point you have to make a decision and
to be brave.
Yes, to be brave, because it made me reach out to new photographers, new people to work with, new like clients to work. I was like very hungry for money and for jobs, so I had to move and actually like go and do something. So that was the thing.
Yeah. So, and how that happens, for example, when you work independently as stylist, what's the process, how this creative industry is built up? Is it like, I understand you work independently, not with an agency?
No. Yeah.
So and you connect by yourself with photographers, magazines,
it's
brands.
Yeah, it's working independently without agency. Even with agency, the thing with the agency, what I'm hearing, it's more and more like they want you to have your brands, and they're helping you to manage difficulties. Being by yourself, you are, you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. You just do everything by yourself. You have to set up like monthly goals. You have to plan everything. You have to be good with logistics. You have to be amazing with social networking. Like 99% of my jobs I'm getting from people that I know or that I used to know from assisting. Or it's not when I'm not busy with the photo shoots, I'm constantly meeting somebody new, or I'm working on my mood board. So I would say, of course, it's important, like not to forget about your personal life and to manage in between it. But yeah, I would say you're working on something better, and like you're always thinking like, how can I do it better? Like what else I can. Yeah. It's your own business. You cannot like relax. It's everything, rely on you.
Yeah, wow, that sounds, I can imagine. I mean, you're building your media presence as well.
Yes.
So you're working on your portfolio, and you manage so many aspects.
There's always something to do, like update LinkedIn. You have a new photo shoot, download it to link to to the website. Be active on Instagram, because it's an amazing platform.
Instagram,
it helps you a lot. Like
you have an amazing profile.
Thank you. It helps you to build up relationship. You can start with like liking each other pictures, and then you can go to meet with this amazing photographer or client. Or in general, it's a huge world where and it's actually, I'm grateful. It's amazing. Like whenever I'm looking for new people to work with, I go on Instagram. It's like one of the best platforms to actually to do your own research.
Yeah. So there are different types of stylists.
Yes.
It's like shoppers, people who do personal shoppings, people who work in a movie sets, people who work as editorial with fashion brands and doing commercials, and people who work with celebrities and like for PR agencies, like doing Met Gala and different things. You decided to be focused on editorial, and why? Why not celebrities, or why not like shopping vlogs and something?
Yeah, so my main focus is editorial jobs plus commercial jobs. It includes lookbooks and like advertising for different kind of brands. It can be fashion, beauty brands, or it can be casino or insurance company, whenever, like Pepsi Cola or something else. Whenever they want me to dress a person, I'll be there. But it's for commercial companies. I chose it because that's my main goal. Like, I love to make money. I love to feel important and needed on set. I love this satisfaction of being there and talk to with the clients, see that I'm helpful, see that I did my best. I don't know. I just love this energy in between me and client for sure. And that's how I make money also, and that's what makes me feel, a lot of like brands that I'm working with are not very they're not fashion brands. So they are people that have not they don't even know much about fashion. So it feels, I feel I'm doing something good actually in this case. And on the other side, I have editorial jobs and editorial photo shoots, which are for magazines or not for magazines. It can be just a very creative photo shoot with a friend of mine with a great model. For me, my goal is to create something beautiful. I adore movies and cinematography, and it's my I was always dreaming to become a cinematographer, but it never never happened to me, because it's just the whole world. You have to learn a lot about it, and I guess it's not really what I want, but I'm obsessed with it.
Inspired.
So I think what I'm doing right now as a stylist and art director and creative director, I do have a lot of ideas for photo shoots, and it's important for me to create stories and show it through the images. My goal is to create something very beautiful, something meaningful, something for many, many years, something that will stay there forever. And that's my goal. And that's why for me it's my life, and I'm even talking right now, and I love it so much. I'm feeling so much love about it.
Encouraged.
Yes.
To speak about that.
So that's why I chose that. I never there are some celebrities that I would love to work with. I would love to work with Tilda Swinton if she was somewhere possible to work with. Maybe one day. I'm not sure about dressing her, because I think that she has her amazing style already. But there are some people that are so charismatic. I would love to work with them, of course. If I would have a chance, or there will be a chance, I will do that. But I think dressing up celebrities is just a different world. It's not. I like my focus right now and doing what I'm doing, and I like my independence. And I'm not that very amazing, I would say, in connecting one-to-one when it's personal. It can be tough. You never know if it's a nice person to work with. Of course,
it's like a match. You
yes,
can match,
absolutely.
You can don't match.
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't want to depend. I don't want my my salary depend on a match or not match.
On the mood.
Exactly. Yes.
Got it. Would you say something about your favorite photo shoot or the project you've been excited to work?
The favorite photo shoot is in the future. Has not been done yet. I'm never satisfied. Most of the time, I do love my lot. Or my favorite photo shoot is the last one I did. The one that I'm posting right now with amazing model Lua. She's an amazing model. I really love her. Wanted to shoot her for a long time, and we collaborated with Silver Chung, photographer. I love her work. She's amazing. My dream jobs, I don't want to say it right now, because my dreams are my goals, so I don't want to
to interrupt it.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I dream big. I do have a lot of ambitions in the fashion world. That's why I keep going, and it's really difficult. It's very competitive.
The market.
It's very competitive in general. It's too many stylists, too many of everyone. It's just so popular. New York is one of the biggest and the best cities for it. So. My favorite, sometimes it can be a little small shoot. I can't say it right now. So I look sometimes through the images I've done, and sometimes I have 2 or 3 favorite images from a very long time ago when I just moved. I didn't have any fancy clothes to pull. It was just very small, not very famous model. but just beautiful picture by amazing photographers. So yeah, I think
what
the
it
best
will
one
be
will be in the like very soon.
Okay. So how do you work on the concept of your shoots? How do you find inspiration? What are your sources?
That's a good question. I would have a different question like 2 years ago. Now I'm sure you have to do what matters for you. It's just like, or like what is your interest? You have to reflect on what's happening in the world. I do, my favorite examples of like what for me is a great photo shoot is classic. It's Franca Sazzani, she was doing Vogue Italia, and she was collaborating with like many talented photographers. But the main leitmotif is that there is a story and there is a message behind it. That's my main goal. It's really difficult sometimes to put it all together. What inspires me? Movies, endless subjects, love, relationship between people. I do want to reflect on what's happening right now with abortions in America. I do want to reflect of what's happening right now in my country, who attacked Ukraine, for example. And I do want to not to like use it as a subject that is important, everyone is talking, but like what does it mean for me as a person, as a stylist, whatever, like as an artist. What does it mean? What's happening right now? And I want to talk about it through my work. The problem is that sometimes it's difficult because nowadays you can see that it's like people just, or like if it's a big brand, they don't want any subjects like this. It's too, or it can be like too erotic, or it can be too avant-garde. So my goal for the editorials to work with avant-garde magazines, to work with magazines that will accept those kind of experiments and absolute expression of yourself. That's yes. I mean, of course I want to work with commercial magazines too. It might be fun and interesting too. But yeah.
Is there a competition between stylists?
Well, yes and no. It depends. If you feel competitive, there will be a competition. Of course, sometimes. I feel it's hard to say, but yeah, you do feel jealous, or you feel competitive, or I always look at the other stylist works who are like better than me, because you have to look at what's happening in the fashion world. It's important, and even to understand, like, if I want to work for this magazine, you analyze who shoot for these people, and yeah, I mean it's like in any business, you have to know your like who you're working with, what's happening, like who you have to be in touch with, or like who you have to be better or like not better.
What are your favorite stylists you align with?
The favorite stylists, I really like from the young ones. I really love. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I think her name is Miyaki. She did the. She's kind of like more of costume designer, but at the same time she does styling. She did Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler and Julia Fox. It's this movie about Midtown jewelry business. Also Marriage Story. She's a costume designer, at the same time she's into fashion world. So I like this mix. And I like the way I see that how many references she looks at. Her mood boards are endless. She does so much work. It's so inspiring to see that people actually do put so much effort, and they do, because with fashion world, sometimes you have like 5 days to prepare for something. So, and of course I love Katie Grant. She's like classic, beautiful stylist, very talented. I was working with amazing stylist Vittoria Cerciello. She's Italian. One of the nicest people I've ever worked with in New York. Very, very beautiful person. And she's very, very talented. I do love what she does. And I love also that I see that she does jobs for, commercially successful magazines. At the same time, she does like super creative, super something super crazy and fun. So that's inspiring to see that, like, I can do that as well, you know.
Yeah. For someone, fashion, it is the reflection of historical period, like something about beauty standards, self-representations. What it is for you? What will be definition of fashion? What it is?
Fashion is it's all of that. It's everything. It's the tool that you use every day. It's the tool for me to impress you and your audience right now. It's the tool to you know, to charm your loved one, or I don't know. It's like it makes you comfortable. It makes you sexy. It makes you feel important. So it's just clothes, yes, but at the same time, yeah, it's exactly. It's the history that we live in. It's a reflection of what's happening right now in society. Did you know that, like, for example, America is top country in the world for selling crop tops?
Really?
Right now, yes. My friend who works in a big conglomerate, like mass market, she told me that, yeah, like the crop tops are a thing in America.
What does it say about Americans?
It's just like the image, you know. We live in the world where, like, it started with Kim Kardashian, the influencers. Like now it's the image. There are a lot of famous people that are translating the fashion image that is becoming very popular, and it's just, you know, a lot of people are picking it up. And it speaks a lot about, yeah, like you look at teenagers, how they dress, what music do they listen. This reflects how they dress up, and yeah, I mean, it's so important to, I think for fashion, it's important to collaborate and to work with the rest of the world, with everything. It's the same as like being a stylist. Like you cannot ignore the fact that you're living in, like, you know, which era you're living in. Which people you are surrounded by, and all these factors are so important. So I think fashion is just it's like brushing your teeth, it's or like having breakfast. It's important. It's just part of our life. You cannot you can say like, I don't care about fashion, but you still have to wake up, wear your something to wear, and this is how you speak to this world as well, right? Even if you are saying that I don't care, it's not my thing, I'm very like not into it, you still are the part of it. This is how you're like, this is part of your personality.
Mm-hmm. What do you think right now? You told that fashion is changing, and we need to look what's going on in the world. And what I see recently, a lot of people trying to become fashion influencer, like the blogger with some brand collaborations. What do you think? People with a proper training should shape the industry, or you're okay with those bloggers who have no, maybe a proper training or exact
like a background? Yes.
Background, yeah.
It's both, you know. I mean, they're part of the system already, so why, if they can make money out of it, why not? If they can, and if people support them, and if they are helping to economy grow, why not? Let them be. I don't know if they like actually like shaping the, well, they do it, yes, it's true. Like, for example, now TikTokers and bloggers are invited to the fashion shows, and they sit on the first
New York Fashion Week.
Yes, or like like even all over the world, they're sitting on the first rows with you know, editors and chiefs and iPhones, exactly. So I mean, it's just a reflection again of the time. Yeah, exactly. We have all phones, and yeah, it's they're part of the system right now. So, and they are like, they're businessmen. You know, that's the way they navigate. I do styling, they do whatever, blogging or whatever. So, content. I think for every if you sell something, I'm sure there's somebody who will like be like wants to buy it. So why not?
Yeah, and also fashion industry is changing, not in that way only. There is so many like articles and talks about body positivity, about inclusivity of all races, genders, ages. So many models of like aged models we can see in magazines. And how do you experience these changes working with
it's great. It's also great for me as for a person who's coming from Russia. I don't have to explain everything, right? Like we understand. It's important for me. I moved to New York, to America, and it teach me a lesson to be tolerant, to be open to everyone. And in fashion industry, I'm working with everyone now. There are no like actual standards. If you are interesting, if I want to work with you, I will work with you no matter like your race or weight or your
abilities also.
Like nothing really matters right now. It's important that everyone is allowed in fashion, and that's important. As soon, like, you know, and I love it. I love to work with older women. I love to work with everyone. Like I do have a lot of experience right now working with plus sizes women. It's important for me because I know how to dress them. It means that I'm out of my box and I'm exploring something new and I'm learning, and I even trying to understand like her, the way she lives, the way she dresses, and it's interesting. It's definitely a lesson for me, and on all different levels for sure. I changed a lot since like 7 years ago. I moved here, and definitely like great cool thing that is happening to give opportunity to everyone to feel confident and to feel important. You know, it's good because we're all people.
Yeah, that's true.
We all deserve it.
So what was your last photo shoot with like made body positive?
I'm actually doing a photo shoot next week, which I supposed to have a photo shoot on Saturday, but because of holidays, we decided to reschedule it. So it's going to be a beautiful model that we're going to shoot with a great photographer for models.com. They're having the model of the week part, like I don't know, like editorial, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. I did work with I did work with a lot of older women. I don't know how to say like older women. How do you? Aged. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. The thing is that nowadays, you know, like you're just saying like the name of model. You don't even like focus on that. So that's why I'm like, how do I say it?
But I think it's important to speak because it's a change, and we need to.
Yes, it's true.
With Maye Musk, did you work?
I did work with Maye Musk. Yes, she was great. Yes. Very nice. Very you know, just. She's simple. That's the thing. Like she was like so easy to work with.
Actually, we lived through the pandemic, for the COVID, right? And during that time, like the digital closets, digital catwalks, digital New York Fashion Week, we saw how Balenciaga created the gaming universe, and where you could experience the fashion in such a different way. In the
digital world,
world, probably we'll have some avatars and we can dress ourselves in the future metaverses. Do you see how you will change your maybe skill sets to work in that, or what is your attitude?
Well, I'm usually saying that when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the game Sims. So I played a lot. I had to dress up my avatars on Sims, and I was so obsessed that I had to delete it one day. So what I'm seeing right now, honestly, for me, it looks like just upgraded Sims. Even like when they're saying avatars, I'm not sure what does it mean. I'm a person. I don't have any TV at home. I do watch movies, of course, but I don't play any games. It's not part of my culture. I know that a lot of people are very related to video games, so I do understand them, why it's important for them. For me, I will adapt, I guess, if it will depend on like my future in my career, or if I will have clients that will ask me to dress up like an online avatar or something. Yes, of course, it's always fun to try something new. It's always interesting to be involved in in innovations. But is it innovation though? I'm not sure. It's not sustainable. It spends so much energy. It's not really good for us. So it's an alternative for fashion, for like real clothes. Yes. I love like real clothes so much. You know, I love vintage clothes. I love the stories. When, for example, I went to this presentation recently, and the designer said, I have this jacket, this leather jacket was made by Boris. He is in garment district, and he knows what he does. Boris is like the best with leather. You know, I work in here because I love all this like personal stories. It doesn't mean that it's not possible to have those stories in digital world. Of course, there still be like humanity in it, but I guess I don't see, like, I'm not very inspired by this yet. I'm the person who doesn't like cartoons, for example. So I'm not the best person to ask about digital fashion. I don't want to be this like old lady who doesn't accept you know, new things. I don't want to be that. I understand why brands are doing that. It's just if you know, that's a part of, like, they are making money on the cheapest positions they usually have. They have shoes, they have bags, they have watches, they have sunglasses, they have perfume, cosmetics. Digital fashion is it's an additional way for them to make money. If Gucci can sell lots of shoes that cost like $7, it's almost like selling coffee every day, but they chose like this path. You know, it's one of the ways for them to make more money, which is, again, I cannot, like, and I love money too, I understand them why they're doing it, but as a person who cares about quality, about like important things, about like art stuff, I'm not sure. But again, we can talk about, it's the same thing in art. You know, again, I just said that I do appreciate art stuff. There's a lot of digital art right now, which can be amazing. I would say I have my own qualities of what is good, what is not. I guess depending on exact example, I can have my own opinion, but honestly, like, who cares about it? I think the industry will keep going, and you know, it's the part of what's happening right now.
And sometimes I'm thinking, like, for example, if you're the brand, and how it works when the kids start playing with some toys, with some cars, right? And lately, when he can afford this car, he's really buying this car. And it was some marketing research about that. But actually, with digital, if some girl or boy is playing Barbie online, and this Barbie can wear some Gucci bag and Chanel suit and whatever, right? Maybe in the future she will have the wish to get it. It's also like a marketing, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't want my kids to think about any of this. I'm sorry, I don't even have kids, but but yes, like, all right, I understand. Like, I was drinking Coca-Cola. I was obsessed with this brand, and like I was playing with Barbie, which is also a brand, and all this, like, we were like all growing up with the brands everywhere. But I still think childhood is childhood, and I do want people to be intelligent and to be to put their energy into philosophy, into like some smart things, you know. If there will be a way to connect Gucci outfit with some philosophical thoughts, maybe with brain.
Or yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's when we're growing, it's like it's important to. Yes, to read a lot, to learn. Yes, to have something good in your site. So I'm a little bit skeptical about this. Yes, but I know that it's important to be open. That's I'm trying. But yeah, I want my kids to read books and you know, do something like maybe do something with their hands, and I don't know, maybe it's too old style.
Why not? Yeah, I think it's actually interesting that you mentioned about sustainability, right? Like, we know that fashion is the biggest source of the environment changes. Like it's
Huge,
in the second,
huge,
in the
yeah,
second
yeah.
place after oil, I think, and gas. I was
Yeah.
reading some statistics. So, and how to be sustainable, like having such a huge choice in New York City with so many brands.
Well, we have to call these girls that are buying crop tops and tell them to stop doing it. Urgently.
Stop it.
Stop
Too many.
it right now.
It's enough for our kids. Yeah, but
One girl, one crop top, no more.
no more.
But to be sustainable is the only way to just stop buying, you know, stop producing. But then it will affect the economy, and it will affect people in poor countries that are dependable on, like China is working on this business. It's just like so many. Like, the thing is that like, about sustainability, yes, we can live amazing, beautiful world, but the truth is that we have too many poor countries right now that are, like they depend on mass market product, like they produce it, and then those people will just end up with no jobs, you know. So we have to think about that. First of all, and second, if you want to start right now, I think just stop buying things, you know, or if you don't want to stop buying things, support local, local markets, support and go do vintage stuff. I have a rule: I'll never go buy anything new until I'm gonna sell something on eBay or Poshmark.
So you resell your stuff?
Yes, I sell my clothes and then I get something new. I do most of it. It's like vintage stuff, or I think it's just important. It's the same. It's not even like with fashion, you know. It's important to, like, you have local farmers, try to support them. I know it's expensive. Like if you have family of I don't know, at least like even 1-2 kids, it's already expensive. So you can't do like organic or you know, it's a tough question. With fashion, it's like gonna be many years of changes, because it's already so many things that were like already did harm to the planet, and I don't even know how to like talk about sustainability with what's happening in the world. I guess like we are first generation from like where we're coming from. We live nice life, and maybe it feels like a disaster right now. But
with no wars and stuff.
yes, maybe it feels like, oh, if like something special happened. Maybe it always were happening in the world. But with like looking and analyzing all the countries in the world, how they live, how poor are they? We have to be sustainable with ourselves, and we have to fix ourselves first, you know, and stop like killing each other and stop doing bad things. That's going to be the most sustainable thing we can do.
This is no doubt.
Yeah.
Your favorite vintage stores in New York City? Would you recommend
I
something
do. My favorite store is on 23rd and 3rd. It's called Vintage Thrift Shop. They have amazing selection of vintage stuff, clothes, furniture, some beautiful items, and I just love this store. Like the atmosphere, it's like super small. The guys that work in there are amazing. And actually another one on Upper East Side called Design Revival. The woman is very interesting that owns it, and she has amazing selection too. I think she has like really good stuff. She has like expensive pieces like Chanel and all the high brands, but she has very good prices for Escada, or like, you know, just kind of secondhand stuff, but at the same time a lot of vintage beautiful pieces. So I do love that place. I do buy a lot on eBay, like vintage stuff. Real is great when they have when they have good discounts. It's like you're like I'm gonna buy it.
This is the great way.
Yeah.
Do you have your favorite brands or something you're like obsessed with?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, it's for me. It's like classic. My favorite designer is Yohji Yamamoto. He is an artist. I love him, and he keeps doing what he's doing for the last 30 years. He changed fashion 30 years ago, so he's my favorite. I do love J.W. Anderson. Amazing, very talented. He's very successful commercially because of handbags and shoes and accessories. But I think he's amazing, very talented designer who will will stay in the history of fashion. There are a lot of young brands. I love Puppets and Puppets in New York.
Yes, so
this
back with the
yes, your
cool-
previous guest has the same bag as well as I do. With this, there's like this bag, and
Yeah.
on it there is like a little pastry, which apparently is famous. I had no idea. It's Jeff Koons made this.
Oh, you had the same bags?
Yes, and yes, we met. We
I thought you borrowed. Oh, okay.
No. I
Okay, so-
inspired. So I'm an
Yeah.
influencer now because
You
real
are,
one.
I believe.
I would never think my Instagram is not popular, but I influenced 2 people to buy a bag with a pastry on. So
Yeah,
you know, it's. I think
looks
it's
so
a.
cool.
It's
I
a.
will show this.
It's for sure. I can add it to my portfolio if I will ever be able to become. Like to work in
So-
marketing, so
Yeah,
that's
you
gonna be
have
my
all the
top
skills.
top skill. Yeah.
What are the most important qualities for stylists you find out? Like, which qualities help you to develop?
Well, it's like what are the best qualities of a boyfriend? You know, like,
The real,
you're like
real stylist, 10 qualities.
I think, or like, what is to be a good person? I don't know. I think just be yourself. Just don't be an asshole. Don't be late. Be hardworking. I think it's important to be charismatic. It's important to have a like wide social life. To accept everyone in it, and just be open and be yourself and be professional means be like do whatever, do your best. For me, for the stylist, you're an artist, so you have to, like, by the end of the day, keep doing what you're doing. Yes, you, like I said, I'm like looking at others' works, but forget about it. By the end of the day, when you start, just trust your gut. Do what's important for you. Like sometimes you feel like maybe it's too much. I'm not gonna do this. It's too much. And then like why I think of other people telling me it's too much. I have to. Like, you know, it's important to keep that in mind as an artist for sure, because stylists, there are 2 sides. You're a businessman and then you're a creator. Yes, that's important. That's very important. If you want to, I think, to succeed, you have to just be wild with your ideas. But those ideas also, that's why it's so important to be on top of what's happening in the world. You have to follow politics. You have to follow what's happening in your industry, in art, in fashion, in movies. Everything is important. Like, don't look at your phone when you're on the subway. Look at people. Like, look at. I have this game, because I do look too much at the phone sometimes, and I like, okay, I put it away and I just like browse. I count people, I count like how many sneakers they're wearing, how many shoes. Like I just like look at these details and learn things, because I want to like to experience it. Not like you have to experience life. You have to go through drama. You have to go through difficulties. You know, like just breathe with the life, go out, look at people, go like connect with nature. Now I sound too crazy, but I think everything is just live your life.
In Russia and living here, it's 2 different experiences, and in Eastern Europe, it's always like one trend. Everyone look like the same, like in Moscow, for example, right? If you're like in some center of the city, like it's a trend, everyone look the same. And I will not say that diversity is very welcomed, even in your styles.
Yes.
Like living here, I feel like
so much freedom.
yeah, it's like the country of the freedom. You can express
Yeah,
yourself.
it's true. Yeah.
And you can.
Yeah, I realized
be
that I'm a
yourself.
New Yorker when I went out to get my burger. I was wearing flip-flops. My hair was bad. I had no makeup, and I was like, wow, I'm so free. I can do this. I would never be able to do this in my city in Krasnodar. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, yeah, like you're like freedom of expressing yourself for sure, but at the same time, you know, being professional is like you have to be very sensitive person, and to feel like sometimes too much freedom is taking it from other people, making them uncomfortable maybe, or like you have to feel these things. You have to be very sensible and sensitive, and yeah, I mean, it's important to do what's important for you to feel comfortable, but you have also to think about others, I think.
By the way, which the most fashionable country or city you will mention?
I don't know. I think I have a bad answer. Of course, I can say like, yeah, Milan, New York, London. Like everyone is like, that's why they have having fashion shows. I think I've never been like in India, or I don't know, like what else I could think of. Some maybe African countries, like, you know, some cultures are so rich and so much inspiration, and they maybe people that like they are very poor and they're living their lives and they don't have time to think of the way they're dressing, but that's the most beautiful and the most stylish thing. That's how we are getting inspired from
a lot of
like the artists, you know, just like it's authenticity and simplicity. That's what's very inspiring, and that's what's important, and that's what for me is fashion. Is even you know, like there was this thing of like when they were describing like Eastern European woman that like very dressed up, or like Susie from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if you have ever watched. Like she is exaggerated version of woman. She has sweaters, she has lots of jewelry, she has like really bad taste, but that's amazing. I love it. I think that's for me this is amazing to be like this, you know. You don't have to be perfect, you have to be yourself, and this is for me cool. That's why New York is cool, because it's a lot of freedom. Yeah, of course, London is very fashionable, but yeah, I don't like when it's like too polished. You know, I don't think like fashion people are like, yeah, sure, they know how to dress, but they're like whatever, like we either work in it. You know, the most interesting people are simple people, or like old men on Upper East Side, sometimes the way they dress, or in Chinatown sometimes like old ladies are mixing like funny prints and like little funny hats. That's hilarious, and this is for me like so much inspiration from it. That's what I love.
Wow, this is great. So we end up in New York City because you can meet everyone here.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a big mix.
Yeah. So how to develop your sense of style? Which advices will you give to girls who want to?
Well, I as you already understood, I'm a bad advisor.
You're perfect. I mean, that's why you're here.
I can advise. I can send them to my previous answer, but they're not going to succeed if they're going to go to the date with a man. I don't know. If depending what is the goal, like depending what's your goal. If you want to impress a man, of course you like it's one thing. Depending also like which man, you know, it's very very specific questions. I do think that it's just again movies. Watch a lot of movies, look fashion, like learn about fashion history. Learn look at a lot of.
Art galleries.
Yeah, exactly, like art. Like whenever I need to get inspiration and I feel like I'm not sure but where to get inspired from, I go to Metropolitan Museum, Brooklyn Museum. Like yeah, I'm trying to look at their paintings. It's a sense of like it's aesthetic. It's your education. You know, you have like you like French people, they, for example, like people from Paris, they walk around and look at these beautiful buildings all the time, and they have culture everywhere. And it doesn't mean that everyone is very stylish, or like, you know, but at the same time, they do have their own style. Again, like it's important to be who you are, not to fake it. So just feel what's important for you. And just feel free to experiment. That's how I would say. Like experiment, touch the base, learn things. I think the education and
there are so many school of stylists, you know,
Mhm.
just online, like so many, like people try to teach you how
Mhm.
to look good. This is good, this is bad, this is that. What do you think about that trend? Like,
there
which
is not. I
existing?
don't think there is a good or bad. You know, there is not such a thing. It's like if you want to be, if you want to follow specific style, yes, there are examples of a style that if you want to follow, there are tips to follow it.
But
It's
yeah.
impossible to like if you have to express yourself. You cannot tell like the things that I will pick up, you won't pick up, and that's the difference between us. And nobody can teach you that, or me, like, you know, how to be Daria, how to be Stefania. It's impossible. It's you and your specific. Of course, you have to understand if a client is asking you to bring tank tops and you're bringing like just like simple minimalistic beige neutral tones, and you're bringing total different. That's something is wrong with you for sure. You don't understand things. Yeah, I think I wouldn't give like crazy advices. Like, it's just live your life, experiment, look at people, pick up what you like, and learn a lot. Like, education is the key. You have to learn. You have to watch a lot of movies because, like periodical movies, because that's how you learn about costumes. It's easy. Yeah, the documentary photography, amazing like street style photography from like 60s, 70s, you know. Learn about artists, learn about so many like like everything, like Hulu, Net, I don't know if we can say this, like all this streaming services, they give you documentary movies, then like all this periodical TV shows with amazing, beautiful costumes also. It's just like so much stuff that is like so inspiring. It's like non-stop. I don't even like take online courses, but learn history. Don't let anybody to tell you how to dress like this skirt with this pants, like or like skirt with top, or learn and experiment. Yeah.
Photographers, I do have the list of like couple of your favorite photographers you would love to work maybe with, or you just admire their work from the past?
I do love Max Vadukul. He used to work a lot with Yohji Yamamoto. I think he's still alive. I have to check. I think he is. I of course admired Peter Lindbergh. He died. It's so many great photographers I want to work with, and I'm very excited to to get there.
To reach them out. Maybe
yes,
one day.
I did work with the amazing photographer Елизавета Parodina, who actually just shot beautiful cover for JQ with Brad Pitt. It's incredible to see how she got her success like so quickly, and she's such a talent. And she just did a photo shoot with Zendaya for Vogue. I don't remember, Vogue Italia with Zendaya. She actually is a great example of keep doing what you're doing, have your own style. She has very specific, very interesting, beautiful, colorful, almost like a painting style. Kind of like Sarah Moon, but actually Sarah Moon I would love, she's still alive, I would love to work with Sarah Moon. It's amazing to see that she didn't change, she pushed what was important for her, and she got amazing, beautiful results. Yeah, so many talented people, to be honest. It's just like, it's incredible how many people to work with you can. It's very
from.
Yes, exactly. You know, it's like it's a lot of things to achieve, for sure.
Yeah. And maybe some couple movies you.
Well,
big question. I think I know one, The Phantom Thread. I think I watched with you this one.
I'm in love with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
Phantom Thread, which is it's not because it's about designer. No, it's because of Daniel Day-Lewis. Excuse me.
Oh, he's
and
awesome in
it
this
was
movie.
his last movie. The way he was like learning how to sew, how to like he was taking classes, learning about design. Amazing, like I love him so much. I loved his last movie, Licorice Pizza.
Actually, I watched it.
I loved it. I know that I have weird taste. I just watched an amazing movie called Paris with Lea Seydoux. It's from 2019. It's very. I cannot say it's not my favorite movie. I just watched it, but it's an interesting movie. It's about journalists, friends, what's happening. Like it's a personal story, and at the same time, it's like life of journalists and how they actually work. That impressed me. My favorite. It's so difficult to say. Which is my favorite movie. I do love for sure Jim Jarmusch movies. I do love David Lynch, of course. I do love Lars von Trier, although he's very difficult. Yeah, that's what popped up first. But yeah, it's like just so many. I'm sure I didn't name my favorites.
Yeah, you named
I'm
a
sure
lot.
I forgot him.
Just put lists about that. Yeah, so what will be the advice for someone who would love to build the same career as you did in fashion?
Well, get ready to work a lot. Many hours. Be very brave. Don't be scared of people to say no to you. Just do your thing. Be professional. Know the boundaries. I would say it's important. At the same time, like feel free and relaxed. It's also important when you're assisting. Don't work with people that you don't like to work with. You can try. You can try here and there, but don't do that. Don't. It's bad. It's a bad energy. So I wouldn't recommend that. Just be very proactive. Reach out to people. Meet people nonstop. New York is all about connection and connections. Be interesting, just like your life and have ideas. I think it's important, like a lot of people reaching out to me like, hey, what's up? Let's work. Like, yeah, sure, let's work. Like, what's your idea? Like you have to
structure your thoughts.
Yes, you have to know, like if you're reaching out to a person, like, here I am, this is my idea, I want to do the photo shoot for this one, and I already did a lot. That's important.
Present
yourself in a way, not like a lot of people kind of too relaxed, and you okay, you're cool, I got it, but what do you have,
Let's get to business.
yes, exactly. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh, actually I thought that I wanted to ask you and I didn't about New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
I mean every fashion week.
Oh my god, I love
you're
it.
a constant guest.
Yeah.
Like so many shows did you visit. How to get there?
Well, the thing is, I know that was
It's
my
the
question.
Most famous question you can
10 years
Google.
ago, it was my question because I was doing street style photography and I wanted to get to the shows. That's actually was one of the things. I was looking at these people. They were dressed up. Well, when you're working, I work closely with brands, with their PR, so they just invite you. If you work in fashion, they know you. If it's a big show and they forgot to invite you, you are kindly asking them if they would like to invite you, and usually they do invite. Sometimes, lately with pandemic, it's been more tough. It's smaller venues, or they kind of worried about COVID, so it's more difficult to get to the shows that I used to go. But it's still it's so many different fun ones, young brands. It's you just have to be in the industry usually.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of my friends, they are so, for them it's something that is under the curtain, and they're how do you get there? Mm-hmm. You just call me, maybe I'll invite you.
A lot of calls.
Maybe I'll put a plus one, but usually they do give you one ticket. It's Yeah, it's part of the job. I love fashion weeks. It's like a little vacation time for me. Like if I'm not working, I just go. It's a lot of parties. It's fashion shows. You meet new people. It's just like little beautiful vacation time.
What is the hottest trend for the coming season?
The hottest trend
from New York City.
The hottest trend. Well, if in New York, if you are depending where you are.
New York City, let's say. That's true.
I have the hottest trend is to be free. Fight for your rights, women. That's the hottest trend. Yes.
Yeah, collaborate with Ukrainian designers.
Collaborate with Ukrainian designers, exactly.
Yeah,
just think what's happening around you. That's the hottest thing nowadays.
Yeah,
and
not
be
ignore
smart.
that.
Yes, exactly.
Ignore that.
Or don't act like nothing is happening.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah. Thank you so much for chat, for conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Likewise. Thank you. Well, it was interesting. It was my, opening session, almost like a therapist. Now I feel empty. I have nothing to give.
Oh my gosh, it should be opposite. Yeah, thank you so much again, and thank you for watching. See you next time.